And now the shockingly beautiful misdirection of SpaceX. For educational purposes, I will reference some random missions, note the details and highlight particular anomalies as I find them. Ask yourself, is SpaceX showing us a demonstrable reality or more plausibly, a product exhibiting elements of manipulated bullshit? Now let's examine this opening piece.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Krista Rhodes, and thank you for joining us for tonight's Starlink mission. Tonight's Starlink mission marks SpaceX's 54th launch of the year and 253rd overall mission to date. Typical of our launches from California, here is a foggy view of our Falcon 9 rocket on the pad at Space Launch Complex 4 East at Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. And due to the heavy fog, we've added an outline of the rocket to better visualize it on the pad right now. And in less than a minute, we should see the strong back clamp arms located beneath the fairing opening up shortly. After they've opened up fully, you'll see the strong back, which you can sort of make out next to the rocket, start moving away from the vehicle. And the strong back, also referred to as the TE, or the transporter erector, is the large structure that sits next to Falcon 9. Separation. This booster is scheduled to land on our drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You, which is currently stationed...
Stage 2 LOX load is complete.
Which is currently stationed in the Pacific Ocean. And as you just heard, Falcon 9 is now fully loaded with its 1 million pounds of fuel and liquid oxygen. And as you just heard, Falcon 9...
4, 3, 2, 1, ignition, engines full power, and liftoff of Starlink. Go Falcon, go Starlink. Vehicle is pitching downrange. Stage 1 chamber pressure is nominal.
We lifted off from Space Launch Complex 4 East from California's Vandenberg Space Force Base at 8:57 p.m. Pacific Time.
Wobbling green blur, artifact manifestation inside the camera lens, in other words an indication the camera is shaking. Contrary to the relatively smooth image it captured, the only possible light source is not exhibiting that same shaking.
As you just heard, Falcon 9 is traveling supersonically, meaning it is going faster than the speed of sound. As you just heard, Falcon 9 is traveling supersonically.
A subtle visual cue, or do we believe the vehicle is having a supersonic effect, as if on a camera more than 11 kilometers away? Bullshit.
MECO. Stage separation. Back ignition.
And as you just saw and heard over the nets, we had successful MECO, stage sep, and SES-1.
Separation.
We also just had confirmation of successful fairing deployment.
At what point in the following camera flip screens, referring to a sudden absence of distorted ball curve in the background. So please tell me which lens they are using, convex or concave, and why is it not reciprocated in the reverse flaring outward, bell end distortion of the stage nozzle? My word, that's interesting, isn't it? Let's keep it in the back of our minds for later, and have a look at this fragile, amazing ice ring formation, popping out intact at 6,000 speed. Speed is just a rate, not a vectored velocity, 6,000 speed, so, whatever that means. If you can't see it, I must ask myself, why am I being shown these things? I have previously shown you the ice ring in the landing pad. I told you there was an opening, a way through the ice. And here we see another symbolic manifestation in an image I must reasonably conclude as blatant CGI manipulation. Otherwise explain the size and resilience, more so the improbability of such a structure ever forming, or dislodging intact from any real booster.
Or a snake devours itself, Ross, Cyrus's space cult.
Oh, before I go, I almost forgot the best part. For all you diligent, misguided fans of the Space Clown Show, please thank Elon for his flat Earth psyop, and one of his best attempts to reveal our close local and seen here shrinking sun.